COVID-19 emotional distress. Reminder, as a citizen of a free country, it is your right and duty to question your government's actions. I'm getting a few inevitable comments saying that I've gone David Icke, I'm advancing theories, and that they liked my arithmetic but have no interest now because I've lost the plot. Why do you think I cite only government and mainstream media sources? I know that for many, the very idea that the government lies is difficult to impossible to you. A reminder, WMD, 9/11, Iran-Contra, Watergate. And they are only the ones where intelligent Americans and Britons know the government lied to promote an agenda. When the government warns you against email scams and phishing and people who want to make you afraid and extort money out of you, cf. the PPI scandal in the UK, that's okay. You know people do that, and you're okay with the government warning you about that. The parent government is not the enemy there. But when the government data says the government spokesman lied, now what do? If you trust the government, then its data says the spokesman lied. The government lied. Oh dear. If you trust the government spokesman, then the government data lied. Oh no, the government lied. Oh dear. If you trust the government, then either the government data lied or the government spokesman lied. Either way, the government lied, and yet you still want to trust it. It lied. What can you do about that? It's difficult to find a flaw in my arithmetic. It's too simple. It's uncomfortable to believe the government lied. Something has to give, and so you or people resort to the one thing that doesn't rely on fact. You can accuse me on an emotional level. I'm bad, I'm crazy, I'm not to be trusted. The few who have commented in this vein all say something similar. I liked your figures, but now you've lost it. I'm still citing figures. I'm still citing the obvious. Government is going to have to pay the bills with no money and an economy shut down. Government borrowing is not a myth. It is a long-standing issue that determines the outcome of elections. How much does the incoming candidate propose to borrow? How responsible or irresponsible is the candidate going to be? Yet because it is the inevitable outcome of the government's actions, and because the actions of the government are discredited as the opposite of what they should be doing, Knut Wikowski, and because they are unnecessary and harmful, as the charts show, myself, their reason for pursuing damaging actions contrary to reason or fact demands a rational explanation. Making a lot of money is not only a powerful motive, cui bono, follow the money, the American dream, it is one that is an inevitable outcome of current government actions. Unless you can magic money from nowhere, which they could, but that's Germany, hyperinflation risk, the government is going to have to borrow a massive amount of money. That's a simple observation. Normally, governments get funded by individuals, pension schemes, investors, etc. Corporations, pension schemes, investing, etc. Other governments, their spare money. Right now, individuals are in lockdown in the UK and not earning. Businesses are in lockdown in the UK and not earning. Other governments are fighting their own battles with the virus and doing far better generally than the West. They don't have money to spare. The government is paying its police, hospital workers, military, the unemployed. Its bills continue. Its income has evaporated. We're in lockdown. The medical initiatives of Herr Gates need to be funded. That's going to be expensive. Kickstarting the economy, supporting those in economic difficulty is going to be expensive. And the government is going to have to tax the very people it needs to save or help. It isn't going to happen. It can't happen. So the government has another expensive bill with its normal funding options unavailable. It is not theory, it is simple observation. The government faces expensive bills based on spurious epidemiologist strategies, has destroyed the economy based on spurious need for lockdown, our charts and epidemiologists, and has its current bills which are very expensive and aren't being matched by income. We're in lockdown. The economy is destroyed. Its normal funding options are unavailable. The people, companies and other countries are in lockdown or busy fighting their own war. There is only one group of people with funds available courtesy of being more wealthy even than the absurdly wealthy Bill Gates. It is the central bankers, the uber rich. They have kindly offered to lend the government the money to cover the government while the government is busy implementing expensive and spurious medical initiatives, expensive destruction and spurious economic destruction, lockdown, and lenders are duly rewarded for their lending. It is fact that someone will make a massive amount of money from the government's irresponsible actions. It is fact that someone instructed Imperial College to issue a fraudulent report. It is fact that someone instructed Boris to make an absurdly fraudulent claim that 3,085 times 66 over 59 is 530,000. Unless, of course, you really believe that prime ministers, scientists, the president, governors all got up and publicly decided on their own initiative to do one thing in common, to scare out of the people based on utter lies, and then insist on massively damaging and spurious measures and massively expensive and spurious health initiatives. What really are the odds of that? There is zero conjecture in that. It is what is in your faces every day in the news. It is in your faces if you actually look at the data, because we show you. It is in your faces if you watch the recommended videos, because Nutvikovsky's video is widely disseminated and extremely popular. There is zero conjecture all the way up the pyramid and around the Western world as the consistent and spurious pronouncements and actions of the government. And someone will pay for it, and we don't have the money. So the government will borrow. If you can find another source of money, tell them. So if governments are lying and scaring you and you have no idea why, look at who's going to make the most money out of this. The person or persons who lend us the money. That's fact. That's simple observation. If that is impossible for you to even consider as an observation, not theory, because you are so emotionally wedded to your parent government, then that says more about you than it does about me. I'm simply pointing out the data and the facts. You're the one who doesn't like the outcome. And for those for whom it is not difficult, congratulations. It is a deeply disturbing observation. It should be. When Hitler invaded Poland, that was deeply disturbing. It should have been. Maybe you preferred your lies and war to be over there, Iraq, the Middle East, not disturbing you here at home. Well, the war has come to your home. Deal with it. If your reaction is, I don't want to deal with it, then I have a great deal of sympathy with that. I don't want to deal with it either. But if no one deals with it, we suffer a great deal of personal loss, loss of freedom, financial loss, loss of livelihood, loss of social interaction, loss of just being a free society. If you're okay with that, when all the measures and announcements are based on lies and you'd rather accuse me than confront the issue, then fine. The freedom of the Western nations, US, UK, Canada at least, is going to depend on other people. People who are willing to confront the issue. If you'd like to sit it out like Switzerland in World War II and come out afterwards and say, so Hitler was bad, huh? Go figure, who knew? Then forgive me for saying I hope those who did stand up and who did do something for their countries and their people have no time for you and hold you in contempt. If a magic fairy came down or the glowing figure of God himself materialized to explain how those sweet people in charge of us are just doing their best for us, fine, I'll listen. But so far, all I have to go on is their public pronouncement, their publicly available data, and the evidence of expert epidemiologists. That evidence says that they lied to exaggerate the threat. It put us in our homes and destroyed the economy. They're pushing massive medical measures, discredited by a leading epidemiologist, and someone's going to have to pay for it. With no money, that's not us. Whoever bails us out wins huge. Do the math. Thank you for listening or watching. I'm Andrew Mather, a 60-year-old Brit, mathematician, financier, technologist, husband, biker, pilot, healer, whatever. A bunch of stuff. Take care. Feel free to get in touch, andrew@peerlessreads.com or andrew@amather.com. Either should get to me.